short one. But you know what it did? It didn't pull it up off the regular Wi-Fi. It pulled it up off the guest. Somehow we got to make it that to be the automatic one here. It had to go
I've never
through
heard that.
guest
Because either way,
and
it
not
limits your ability.
public Wi-Fi, the one we use in here.
It's still saying it's not connected to a server.
But you pulled it up.
No, it's not.
Not connected. Dang, I'm ready to punch it. Seriously. I'm trying to yeah, I already done that part. Now do the agenda. It says
Went right back to there real quick.
You can look at mine.
all right. We'll share.
All right.
No, it's charged up. I might have to do it on the screen.
Would you like to lead us in the pledge this evening? Sure. Okay, when we're ready. Yeah, not yet.
By the
come I
time
can't
we
find the
get
agenda?
done, maybe it'll be.
I hadn't downloaded it yet. I just looked at it online. Hmm? Thank you.
We're good.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call the commission meeting to order, and we will have Mr. Jim Crowley lead us in the invocation, and Mr. Chavez lead us in the pledge. Please rise.
Father, we thank you for this time together that we can conduct the business of the city. We pray for a safe city, and we thank you for those who help keep it that way. We also pray for a harmonious city where we have people who are enjoying living here and living their American dream. We thank you for this meeting and for those who are sitting, that they would make good decisions that impact us all. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, next is the roll call. Carla?
Mayor Burgess,
Here?
Commissioner Locke,
Here.
Commissioner McClure,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sight,
Here.
Commissioner Rogers,
Here.
all present.
Okay, thank you. Next is the agenda approval. If there are any items on this evening's agenda that need to be pulled from consideration, now would be the time to do so.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to pull number C,
I'll see you in
consent
Charlotte.
agenda.
C on the consent agenda?
Yes,
Pull it completely from the agenda?
discuss it.
Oh, well, right now, we're just approving the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you don't want to pull it, correct?
Not right now.
Okay, okay. Okay, I would entertain a motion then for approval of the agenda as given.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve the agenda as given.
Okay, is it? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this evening's agenda as given. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, then that brings us to presentations, and we do have one presentation this evening from the San Juan Water Commission, Mr. Aaron Chavez.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Aaron Chavez, and I'm the Executive Director for the San Juan Water Commission. I've worked for the Commission since 2001 as their IT, GIS, web designer, and since November, I've been the Executive Director, so fairly short time. Just a little background information, the San Juan Water Commission is a political subdivision of the state of New Mexico created through a joint powers agreement signed on March 5th, 1986. So we're going to have our 30th anniversary this month. The San Juan Water Commission has 5 members, which are the County of San Juan, the City of Aztec, Bloomfield, and Farmington, and the San Juan Rural Water Users Association. So there's 9 water users association. And I just wanted to say our mission statement is to protect the use of future and existing water rights and water resources of the member entities of the San Juan Water Commission. and to ensure every citizen in San Juan County has a reliable water supply. So I just wanted to touch on a few high points of the Water Commission. I was going to talk about Ridges Basin Reservoir, Lake Nighthorse, or it's actually the Animas La Plata Reservoir. The pool elevation is 6,880.86 feet, which equates to 99% full of capacity. The live storage is 113,382 acre feet. The total storage capacity of the lake is 123,542 acre feet. The current surface area, so the surface of the lake, the reservoir is 1,480 acres. The evaporation for the month of January was calculated to be 61 acre feet. So Lake Nighthorse is currently shy around 1,600 acre feet from being completely full. Pumping is not currently planned for 2016 due to water quality issues, especially the Gold King mine spill, so there will be no pumping in the reservoir. Since it's an off-site reservoir, we don't want a chance that we contaminate the reservoir, so there will be no pumping this spring. If we were going to pump, we would pump for 49 days at a rate of 33 cubic feet per second, and it'd be from May through June. I just wanted to also touch base on the snow water equivalent, or how much water is in the snow in the mountains for the Animas River, and we're roughly 115% of average, so we're above average, so that's a good thing. Navajo Reservoir is 82% of capacity. It's a lot higher than recent years. Current releases out of Navajo Dam is 550 cubic feet per second. There hasn't been a spring peak release, but there will be one most likely this year. And the snow water equivalent in the San Juan River Basin is actually 113% of average. So that basin is above average also. We always talk about sea surface temperatures or El Nino. There's a strong El Nino condition, but we are expecting it to weaken in late spring and early summer. So we're looking at a more neutral condition or normal condition. Precipitation and temperature outlook for February, March, and April show a 30 to 40% chance of above normal precipitation and near normal temperatures. We look at a drought monitoring website, and New Mexico San Juan Basin is free of drought. So is the Colorado San Juan Basin is also free of drought. So we've covered. It looks good as we speak. I just wanted to touch base on the Animas La Plata project. In 2002, construction began, and in 2008, all general construction of the dam, the pumping plant, and other structures were completed. Lake Nighthorse first fill commenced on May 4, 2009, and was filled for the first time on June 29, 2011. So it was a couple of years of pumping to fill the reservoir. On March 4, 2009, the Animas La Plata Operation Maintenance and Replacements Association was formed through an intergovernmental agreement. So that means the participants came together and formed an association, and the Bureau of Reclamation transferred the project to the association. And with that, I can list the name of the parties, which are the San Juan Water Commission, La Plata Conservancy District of New Mexico, Navajo Nation, Southern Ute Indian Tribe, Ute Mountain Ute Tribe, the Colorado Water Resource and Power Development Authority, and then soon after, the state of Colorado was a participant, and they've sold portions of the water to other local districts. Currently, the San Juan Water Commission pays all operation, maintenance, and replacement charges for all member entities of the San Juan Water Commission. The San Juan Water Commission has protected and continues to protect water rights in Colorado. The commission has settled a Colorado water right deal. Currently is in the environmental assessment stage through the Bureau of Reclamation, part of the NEPA process. Initially, there was a proposal out there to build, we always say Disneyland up there, but now the proposal is a smaller footprint with some trails. And there has been issues such as Bruno agreement for hunting and fishing for the Ute tribes, some other little cultural issues. So I think we're over the hurdle and we should be starting the construction of the recreation area soon. And in fact, the Bureau of Reclamation has awarded the construction of the entrance station, and we're just pending the weather. Once the weather warms up, they'll start construction of the entrance station at the reservoir. The next thing I wanted to touch base on is planning. The San Juan Water Commission is developing an entity-wide water development plan. A lot of people call it the 40-year plan, but it's the water development plan. We look at the water development plan, conservation plans, and return flow credits. So we're addressing those issues. Currently, the San Juan Water Commission is mapping the city of Aztec's water infrastructure, and we're doing that through a GPS handheld system and creating a GIS database. The commission has mapped around 23.5 miles of pipeline and an estimated completion of 29% of the total system. The commission has completed 6 systems in the area and provided the data to their entities, so that's a service we do provide. Currently, regional water plan, that was a big issue in 2003. The Interstate Streams Commission currently released an updated plan on January 28th of last month. The ISC is holding a steering committee meeting on Monday, February 29th from 6 to 8 at the San Juan Water Commission office. The steering committee is tasked on reviewing the plan and developing the public involvement part of the plan. Water quality, Section 303C of the Clean Water Act, New Mexico Water Quality Act requires that the state and the reservations look at and assess the water quality. The commission has been an active participant in that. They're supposed to review the water quality process every 3 years, and that's called a triennial review. Like I said, the San Juan Water Commission has been participating in the triennial review since 1995 to protect in a balanced manner the San Juan Water Basin supply. Currently, the triennial review process is for 2014. We've submitted comments to the New Mexico Water Quality Control Commission, and they are reviewing, and they held a conference October 13th through the 16th. So, and there will be a hearing and there was a hearing, the last time there was a hearing was in 2009, so it's been a while since they actually heard any comments or had any input from participants. Part of the water quality is the San Juan Water Commission serves on the Citizens Advisory Committee to help communicate the results of the state of New Mexico long-term monitoring activities for the Gold King mine spill. And we ensure that the public continues to have a voice with the state's long-term impact review team. So we are a liaison between our citizens and the state of New Mexico. Just wanted to touch real quick base. I know I don't want to stay here all night, but the endangered species or the invasive species, you know, the Water Commission continues to support and participate in the San Juan Basin Recovery Implementation Program. That's the program that tries to recover the endangered fish species in the river. The program anticipates recovery of the fish in 2023, and after that, we only see monitoring and monitoring of the species after. This program is a very successful program in the United States, and what's neat about the program, it allows the fish to be recovered, but also allows entities or individuals to continue to develop their water rights or their water plans. So that's the good thing. The commission has supported this program, and we bear a lot of the cost for the recovery. In closing, I just wanted to say that I'm open to any comments or suggestions that you may have about the commission, and I look forward with working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Aaron, a couple of questions, if you don't mind. So you mentioned about no pumping into the Alamos Supply Reservoir due to the Gold King mine spill. So has there been any thought or discussion about the same type of precautions for release of the water? Because that's going to stir up this same kind of stuff coming downstream.
You know, the general manager of the Animas La Plata Association, Russ Howard, mentioned that, you know, we're hoping this spring we continue to have a large snowpack, and
Right. Hopefully we won't need to release.
hopefully there will be a release, and hopefully with the high flows, it'll scour the sediment out of the river.
Before that becomes necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. One last question that I have. The 40-year water plan that the San Juan Water Commission is preparing. So I can only imagine, because I know each of the municipal entities has their own 40-year water plan. So is that taking all of those, of all the members, and trying to compile one overarching? Is that?
That's the concept, to create like an umbrella plan that incorporates
Gotcha.
everyone's water plan.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm like,
That's quite an
ooh.
undertaking.
It is, and, you know, we've been working on this for a while, and, you know, the state requires a lot of information, like gallons per capita per day,
Right.
and some water accounting, so it is a big task, but
Right.
that is something we see that is necessary.
How much correlation is there between the 40-year water plans of the entities versus the state water plan that's being worked on? Is there much overlap? Are they looking at entirely different things?
They're looking at entirely different things. The state, the regional water plan, they're using a common technical platform, which they call that, so each basin within the state uses the same data, the same methodology, where before it was individually per basin. So they made it streamlined throughout the state, and they just use a specific source and a specific method. So there may be correlation, but most likely there wouldn't be.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
individual members would have better data, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
coming
you,
and presenting.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mayor Aaron forgot to point out in his presentation, he gave a favorite commissioner award this year, and it was the Aztec rep. I don't know who represents, but
I see.
he didn't tell the other members, but it was something he did personally before the meeting. It was very heartfelt.
Uh-huh.
I may need to
Okay.
be excused, Mayor.
Yeah, I know.
We have
Like I may
minutes
be
of that
ill.
discussion.
Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay, next we will move into citizen recognition. Mr. Ray?
We don't have citizen recognition or employee recognition, Mayor.
Okay. Then that brings us to the consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda will be voted on with one motion. If there are any items that do not meet the approval of a commissioner, those items may be pulled for discussion under items from the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I would like to pull for discussion number C.
Item C. Okay. All right. Hearing no other items, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve the consent agenda as posted, with the exception of item C.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda with the exception of item C. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, items from the consent agenda. Item C is Resolution 2016-987 concerning the governing body meetings and public notice requirements. Commissioner McClure.
I guess this question is for Carla. Under here, Carla, under number 9 dash or dot 3, it says, following the completion of any closed meeting, the minutes of the open meeting as closed, yada, yada, yada. So I wondered if we had a closed meeting on the 21st of January. Is that supposed to reflect in the minutes? Or did I miss it? Was it in our minutes?
In this current round of minutes?
Yeah,
Is that
from
what you're
last
saying?
no, it would be in this current,
Right, should be in this
or
current.
it should be. I was just a little confused as to when that shows up.
So then it should be,
I think it says.
yeah, it doesn't reflect one.
So typically, how we'll post those is the meeting directly following any special meeting would have those minutes on here. But for our practice, it's within 2 meetings. We make sure that those will reflect in your minutes to be approved.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Well,
but that's
kinda,
not a
except for
question.
what it says in here. It
Okay,
says,
that's the question.
Oh, I think she says because on the minutes, it doesn't say that we went in.
It doesn't
closed
reflect,
session,
right, that
we-
there was a
that we
closed
Oh,
went
session.
gotcha.
in
And
closed
9.3
session.
says it should.
And I think it's number 9, yeah. Hold on just a minute. If the minutes of the open meeting, the minutes of the open meeting is closed, or the minutes of the next open meeting, if the closed meeting was separately scheduled, shall state that the matters discussed in the closed meeting were limited only to those
In the motion.
specified. But it says at the next open meeting, and I guess that's where I'm a little confused.
Right.
So would that be this one?
I believe so.
Yes.
For January 21st, are you saying they weren't on the actual document to be approved, the
No.
closed session?
No.
Okay, we-
Under the Open Meetings Act,
Right.
on this thing that we're, under.
Right, the question is that we don't have minutes, right? And that we
No, we
should,
don't have minutes.
No, it's
but-
not
Right.
posted on the
We don't have-
minutes that we had a closed session and that only those items were discussed.
Okay.
Right.
I think is what she's trying to say.
Help me out again, which date meeting are we talking about?
21st.
21st
January.
of
So
January.
this one should reflect
Okay.
it. Oh, so it would be on the minutes of tonight's.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Right.
That would be a separate set of minutes showing the closed session, and it would typically follow the meeting directly after the closed session. However, if it doesn't make it onto there, then it would just be at the next commission meeting. So what you're saying is, as it's stated here, yes,
It
it
should
would
be on-
fall
It should be on tonight.
on tonight's.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. And it
So-
would simply just state, for that meeting, it would just state, special
Right.
meeting, closed session,
so then the
items
question
discussed.
is, either do we need to start making sure that they get on the next meeting, or do we need to adjust the resolution?
We can
One or
leave it
the
the
other.
same.
Okay.
We just didn't get it onto the minutes here, so we
Alright.
can leave it the exact same.
They'll be on the next one.
All right. That was my only question about it.
Okay. All right. Are there any further questions?
No.
Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Madam, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to move to approve the resolution 2016-987 concerning the governing body meetings and public notice requirements.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve item C of the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, next we'll move into citizens' input. If there is anyone here this evening who would like to address the commission on an item not otherwise listed on the agenda, you will have up to 3 minutes to do so. We need you to sign up with the clerk, or at the clerk's table. And please understand, this is a comment to the commission. The commission cannot respond during the citizens' input. Okay. Forgive me. Debbie Venturella? Okay, please come up to the podium.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
I'm a small business owner on Main Street in Aztec. Therefore, I generate revenue for the city of Aztec from my business license and in tax sales, which is the highest in the area. I chose Main Street Aztec because it's somewhat of a gateway between Durango and Albuquerque. I've been struggling with advertising my business. I've tried internet advertising, and only 10% were legitimate responses. I had 0 response from almost $300 in newspaper ads. The sandwich board in front of my store is also ineffective because parking obscures it. I considered putting a sign hanging out between the cost of the sign and the fact that there are trees on either side of where it would hang. I don't believe it would be effective advertising. I've been told by many of my customers that they had heard about my store but had had a hard time finding us. I bought a sign that says antiques and attached it to my building Saturday evening before closing. We're generally closed on Sunday and Monday. Sunday morning, my husband needed to do some maintenance in the building, and when he was unlocking the door, a customer pulled up and asked if we were open. Of course, he said yes. The customer said he stopped because he'd seen the sign. The customer spent money in my store that day. 2 more people came in stating that they'd seen my sign and stopped in. Then Bob Carmen stopped in, and he told my husband to take down the sign because the type of sign is out of city compliance, which I cannot find descriptively in the code. Since then, I've been asking other business owners if they would be offended by my sign or if they thought my sign would in any way downgrade the appearance of downtown Main Street. I've gotten 100% response of support that the sign would be a positive thing in advertising my business. Burkhart Traders has a sign, the same style, that says open hanging from their building. Rubio's has a sign. There's a City of Aztec banner that says Arts in the Plaza across from my street from my store. I would like to respectfully ask for a special circumstances waiver to display my sign. In closing, I would like to state that my lease is up at the end of October this year and would seriously consider moving my business. Therefore, taking the income revenue that I've been contributing to the City of Aztec with me and leaving another unoccupied storefront on Main Street. Nobody likes moving, and I really like the location of my store. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Ken Self.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me address the commission. I really don't need to say much because the previous lady satisfied my curiosity. I live in the ETZ area, and a number of years I was trying to purchase some property that was adjacent to me, and there was an easement, so I had to deal with the city. And I was not treated well. I was very, very unhappy. It left me an indelible impression upon me in dealing with the city. We moved on to that, and the other day I was talking with one of my neighbors who had a similar problem, encountered a similar problem. As I understand it, there was a sliver of property adjacent to his that he had been taking care of for a number of years, and it turned out not to be his property. He got with his neighbor and said, "Hey, no problem, I'll just give it to you." So I said, "All right." Well, the city said they couldn't do it. This is according to him. This is hearsay. He's a good man. So he said, "Well, no problem, I'll buy it from you." I said, "No, you can't buy it from him." So I got very concerned about that. Then I was in Albuquerque a couple of weeks ago, and we were having coffee at the Aztec restaurant, and somebody asked me, "Did you read the letter to the letter to the editor of the Farmington Daily Times, written by one of the local residents?" I said, "No," so I went and read it. The thing that concerned me about the article is she stated, be it true or not true, that she was not able to address the commission. Man, that caused some concern on my regard. The city won't let me do this. The city won't let me do that. They won't even let me talk to them. So I didn't know what to do except to come out and find out for myself. And I have done that. So I thank the city for letting me address them. I just wish they would be able to address me back. Thank you.
Thank you.
You had a little more sign up there.
Huh?
You had another
Oh.
sign up.
Okay,
It's a late entry.
thank you. Oh, Sam?
Good evening, Commission. I'm Sam Blue, and I had volunteered to come with Debbie as her husband is out of town and so forth. I helped look at the sign situation, and I don't know that she'll be needing a variance. I'm going to volunteer some of the specs and what I found, if that will assist evaluating it in the site sign compliance, code compliance section. under IV, Section 20-4, 20-4-1, 10% of the facade, using the measurement of the facade on hers, it's about 750 square feet. 10% would be 75 square feet. Her sign is 2.5 feet width by 10 long, so that's 25 square feet, which appears to fall within what's allowable. So once again, maybe it's just choosing the correct code and making sure that it is compliant. And I told her I would assist with trying to identify the correct area. So maybe that will be helpful in sorting out if her sign is acceptable or not.
Okay. Obviously, we
all.
can't address the specific issue, but I hope that yourself and Debbie are going to follow up with staff afterwards.
Yes, ma'am, or Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Then next, we have no business items on tonight's agenda, no land use hearings, so we'll move into city manager, commissioner, and attorney reports. Mr. Ray.
Thanks, Mayor. Two quick things. I do want to point out to everyone that's in the audience and to the commission that tonight we are doing our first live feed of our commission meeting. It's the first time we've ever been able to accomplish this. Wallace is sitting there in his Broncos jersey advertising that mess. But we're excited to be able to broadcast this. We've already had some comments online for people that don't typically come out to our meetings, and we've seen some positive comments already. One of the things we were looking at is the ability to post comments and to have some kind of dialogue for those that don't want to physically be here. I know that's kind of next level, and this is our, what's that word, test run. We're going to use this for the candidates forum and hopefully for our town hall meeting next Wednesday. So town hall meeting next Wednesday, the 17th, candidates forum next Thursday, the 18th, and online streaming happening tonight.
So where do you find that online?
It's on the city's YouTube page.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I posted it out on the app, and as we fine tune it, we'll get it posted on the website. So it'll be, when we post the commission meetings, we'll have this stream feed live.
We just want to make sure it works. We know there's a little bit of delay in case there's some kind of Janet Jackson experience, so we're doing that FCC regulation. But we're excited to have it, and we're excited to be able to roll it out for people to be able to actively see what's going on in the commission. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so tomorrow morning, Mr. Ray and I actually have a meeting with the hospital's recruiter as they start their process looking for a new executive director. I believe that's the name of the title. Anyway, so that should be interesting. Thursday, there's a mayor's ball meeting, kind of finalizing things for the mayor ball, which brings up the question, do we want to sponsor a table for the mayor's ball?
When is the mayor's ball?
It is March 4th. I believe it's the 4th. It's the Friday. Yes, March 4th. And so it is $1,000 to sponsor a table.
What's the charity this year?
Sexual Assault Services in Northwest New Mexico. It's the same one that last year.
I think we should. I think those are
I feel like it's a good thing for us to
awesome
support.
causes to support.
I'm in
And how many
favor.
can sit at the table? 10? Is it 10?
I believe it's 10.
Yeah.
Does the paperwork say, Carla? It is 10. So,
Okay.
okay. All right, so if we're all good with that, then those who wish to attend need to let Carla know as soon as possible so we'll know how many seats we'll be filling up. Okay? Okay. We do have a Aztec Sparkles wrap-up meeting coming up this Thursday at 6 o'clock at Rubia's. So anyone who would like to join us to give input, feedback about this year's, and then kind of beginning ideas for next year's event, that'll be happening Thursday at 6. There's also an Aztec Trails and Open Space meeting coming up next Tuesday on the 16th. Of course, next week is a busy week with our town hall and our candidate forums, everything. Hope to see everyone out there. I did attend the Self-Insurers Fund training for managers and mayors a couple of weeks ago, and I have to say, you all missed a show. It was probably the most entertaining one we've had ever, at least in the 10 years 8 years that I've been attending. They actually had a couple of skits, and it was interactive, and so it was very different than normally us sitting there and trying to absorb stats and,
For 8 hours.
yeah,
Slightly painful.
a little bit. House Bill 233, the hold harmless bill that's at the legislature right now, actually was tabled yesterday. Or, well, it wasn't tabled, it was removed from the agenda. The hope is that it will be tabled. So this, even though this year, again, we're not directly affected if it passes, they're looking at some trade-outs that for those cities and counties that enacted those 3/1/8 allotments that they were given just a few years ago, they're saying now that they would like to take back the difference that the cities weren't, and counties weren't supposed to have enacted to get more than what their hold harmless should have been. Our stance at the Municipal League has been, no, you authorized us to do that. If our communities decided that they needed that extra money for their community, then that's their business and not the legislatures to take it back. But, so, like I said, hopefully it gets tabled. And we have a new event coming in August, right, Josh?
Yes, ma'am.
26th? 13th.
13th, August 13th.
August 13th, the Mac and Cheese Fest is coming to Aztec. So that should be fun. Another fun event to add in our lineup of events in our parks. So, and I have to say, they were looking at Farmington parks. And so a lady that I knew and connected on Facebook, there are good things that do come from Facebook occasionally. And I kind of put the plug in that, hey, we work really hard to work with our events and to help build up our events, and so you should consider us. And so it's officially going to be in Aztec.
It was pretty quick that they were able to come through after they saw the locations. They checked them out, have it set up. The date was going to be in July. They moved it to August based on appearance by Big D and Bubba, radio personalities.
Right.
And then they have 4 musical guests that will be performing maybe 1 or 2 songs. One of them is supposed to be Kicks Dunn of Brooks and Dunn.
Cool. Yeah, I know they were anticipating about 2,000 people for attendance at the event.
It's a lot of mac and cheese.
That really is. It really is. So
America's comfort food.
I'm in.
All right.
It sounds great.
You're always in with food.
I know, that's the
any
kicker.
food, yeah. All right, that's all I have. Mayor Pro Tem.
A few things. I'd kind of like to know maybe if we could get our street sweeper out now that we don't have snow on some of on our streets and get that started. I think that would be good. Also, I attended, right before I left town, I attended the MPO meeting, and we have a couple of new representatives on the MPO. Robin Elkin is taking, for the planning for DOT, is taking Brian Degani's place, and then Paul Brasher is taking David Quintana's place. So we had a couple of new, and Paul seemed like he was very, going to be very involved in stuff, so that's good. Of course, there's still the Navajo Dam upgrade that they were going to do on that 2 miles is still, they pushed it back to 2017, which they reported a while back. I did ask them about when they were going to start getting on the potholes that were showing up on 550 and 516, and didn't really get a confirmed answer on that. But he did, they do have like 12 bridge projects this year that are to repair or make them for safety issues. So they've
In
got
our
a lot-
district?
It just,
Commissioner Current, too, he's getting some of the noise up, and he's on the top of that hill, so even it's impacting him. But we've not pinpointed based on all the well sites, if that makes sense. They haven't pinpointed where they're at. All the sites we've contacted so far, which is, there are 4 that have been verified, already have that mufflered system on them. And so each site doesn't feel as if it's their site that makes that noise at night. So we've gone out as late as 12:30 to check it out, and we haven't figured out which one's being that loud. But sadly for Warren, it basically stops when you get to Warren. It doesn't make it over into, the noise isn't coming into Cocopelli subdivision, so that would be over to basically where Ed Cooper's at would be the backside. So it really just hits Warren and stops. And all the houses that are in that area. That's that Cart Canyon region and coming down to Hart Canyon as well. That's an issue.
Would the county be able to help identify those sites?
Yeah, we've worked through the county, worked through the individual well sites to see, to verify that they have everything they should have on there. We're just having a problem with the tracking down which one's the site.
Okay, well, thank you for following up.
And everyone we went to hasn't had any meth issues as well because we're all back, so that's
Haven't had
Meth?
any-
that extra,
You mean H2S?
that too.
Yeah.
And there are no meth issues either, so when we're going out, so. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
You know,
Hey,
those
look.
wells, you know, they're unsupervised, they.
The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look.
Wells, you know, they're unsupervised, they.
The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look.
Wells, you know, they're unsupervised, they.
The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look.
Wells, you know, they're unsupervised, they.
The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look.
Wells, you know, they're unsupervised, they.
The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look. The live stream came back on.
There are no meth issues either.
There are no meth issues out around. Methane
I'm
gas
very-
was my thought, but it's an H2S.
I'm very
conversion.
glad we don't have those issues on our well sites.
Hey, look. The live stream came.
Time to talk to the BLM, pro or con. So that's Tuesday the 16th at 1 p.m. I will be at the town meeting. I think it's a great idea. So we have 16th, 17th, 18th candidate forum, and on the 19th, my niece is coming to town from Texas. I think she's going to be moving here from Texas. So another, well, I don't know if you guys want another McClure running around, but you know, she's coming.
She's not gonna run for anything, is she?
You never know, but she is in the medical field, so, you know, that's needed here. There's an ugly lamp contest also that's going on at Crash Music in Aztec. And the drop-off for that, whether the lamp was made ugly by you or born ugly,
Artificially ugly.
the drop-off is between the 21st and 23rd, and all proceeds of people who bid on these horrid-looking lamps go to Northwest New Mexico Sexual Assault Services. So that will be benefiting the same group that the mayor's ball is, which is a. So if you have a really ugly lamp that you've had in the garage and you just want to get rid of it, drop it off at Crash Music, February 21st through 23rd.
Or you can make one ugly.
I've made one ugly, and I have bought 3 ugly, and I'm just donating all of them, so. You know, I mean, it's great. You don't even have to be that creative to make them ugly.
And
You
they're
just
gonna
take a hammer
they're gonna be
to them.
auctioned, right?
You know,
Is that
they're
what's happening?
auctioned.
Right.
Well, it's a silent auction, so
Right.
it'll be going on for a couple of weeks. So hopefully we can gather a lot of money for that worthy cause. I think that's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Thrower.
Just to let you know, I'll be out of town February the 24th through the 26th. That's a Wednesday through Friday. I'm going to Albuquerque for a continuing legal education seminar, but I will be here for the 23rd commission meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, department reports.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. I just would like to touch base on the Steamers and Dreamers Convention. I have spoken with some business owners in town, and they have made sales with the Steamers and Dreamers Convention in mind, so that's kind of nice to hear all that hustle and bustle, and there's a lot of excitement. And I just wanted to let you know, I don't know what's going to happen with those lamps after they're purchased, but I don't need any more junk for the Steamers and Dreamers. So please, spread the word. And Josh, there will be food at the Steamers and Dreamers, so
I'm not sure what steampunk food is,
It's on the calendar.
but good luck with that.
It's a start.
well, the bistro will be providing the
That's right.
evening menu, so yeah, and that's always a good thing. So we're all geared up. The Spunky Old Broads have a performance they've been working on, and
What time is that performance?
it's at 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah, and what can I say about the Spunky Old Broads? They're spunky.
Also known as the SOBs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy, a line for the next show. Yeah. So that's it. I'd like to see all of you there. It would be really nice. And of course, it's supporting a good cause, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy.
Sounds like fun.
I'm definitely just going to be an observer.
Just quickly to follow up on a couple of House bills that we're following. The one Commissioner Rogers was talking about is House Bill 311. I sent emails and texts to every one of our House people that were down there and asked them, please do not vote for this. I checked Monday, and every one of them voted for it. So I have a lot of pull. So I know it's passed the House and it's gone to the Senate. So I've also let our two senators down there know. But if you have any way of trying, what it's done is going to take, like you said, take $4 million from the. There's lots of other funds that it's taken, but if they would just take that one out, that's the 911 fund. And I talked to your boss and said, well, if they're going to take that money, that means that that money is no longer for 911, so does that mean they're going to take it off all the phone bills? And the understanding is no, which would be legal. So if you have any poll, we're trying to keep that one so that we get capital projects and funds for our center for EMS, fire, and other, and that's House Bill 311.
Okay, thank you.
The other one that you probably know that I'm interested in is the one to do with the forfeiture bill, which is House Bill 284. And I look at it, and it doesn't look like, it says not printed on it, so I assume that it's not on the governor's call, and it's not going anywhere right now. But I still have let all of our people down there know that if House Bill 284 comes up, that we need to support it so that we can get the changes made to the forfeiture bill so we can get rid of abandoned and other property that we need to. So if you have some pull down there, I don't. So it would be very nice if we could do that. But I'm trying. I'm doing what I can from this end and doing, but I think they would listen maybe more from you if we could get some help on those two bills. Thank you.
A follow-up to
Thanks,
that,
Chief.
Mayor?
Yes.
Steve Neville is actually on the Legislative Finance Committee, who is kind of in charge of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually against statute. It's very specifically states.
For 311?
For 311.
Okay.
It's not tax, it's a surcharge.
Right.
And it very specifically states that it must be used for 911 and cannot be transferred to the state general fund, yet
Gotcha.
that's what they're doing.
That's like the corrections fee. So,
Okay. All right. Okay, seeing no other department reports, then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Aye. I know. It's quite a little delay on that.